number 604. Today we have a 6-box Series 1 and Black Diamond mixer. Well, 7 box, so 6 Series 1 box, 1 Black Diamond box, but you get it. Yeah, here we go. Here are your teams there. Move this over just so you get the full team names. That's by username, and that is by team alphabetical. So, good luck. Here we go. And we'll top load and see the Young Guns. Wow, this one was just straight up. Just the seal was just straight up ripped. Or popped open. Sticker's still on there. And you saw me open it up from a fresh case. That cut was useless. Yeah, sometimes these boxes, man, are the best boxes. It is 73 on the serial number. There's like one of those rules that if you see a damaged box, it's like the last box on the shelf, and the damaged box, it's like you always got to open up those ones. Because you just never know. All right. Let me go ahead and move my chair closer. Get this box out of the way because I don't need it. And let's get going. All right. 3, 4, 5. Outburst of Tyler Bertuzzi for Chicago. Lightning on the Compadres. Shesterkin on the Quest for the Cup. 6, 7, 8, 9. Encore of Byfield for the Kings. It's not the numbering's on the front for those. Tracking system of Bobrovsky for the Panthers. And Mazer. Mazer. First Young Gun off the board here. Sleeve and top load that. Here, let me get top loaders closer here. There we go. Just sleeve and top load them as we go. I know I'm not a big guy, but Young Guns, I guess it's not, yeah. I guess it's not really the same anymore. I keep on doing like, yeah, sleeve and top load because they hold their value the best. And I guess that's technically still true, but no variant on that, Matthews? No, I don't think so. Compadres for the Oilers, Binnington for the Blues, and a compositions of Kopitar for the Kings. But yeah, they don't hold their value like they used to. Ovechkin on the sizzle reel. Matthew Robertson for the Rangers, and compositions of Quinn Hughes for the Canucks. There we go. Encore of Kemmel for the Predators. Brady Tkachuk goal-oriented speckled for the Senators. Sizzle reel for the Devils. And McMichael for the Capitals. Oliver Moore, nice one there for Chicago. And Makar on the portraits for the Avs. Nice Moore. Robertson's not the worst. He's like a mid-tier guy, but he's a defender that probably won't get a ton of score. Probably won't score a ton, so you know. I mean, compared to what it was, yeah. I think printing is a tough conversation, especially with how crazy 23-24 was. I do think that one in particular was overprinted. And they've definitely since toned it back. You can kind of see how printed a run is by how many numbered base cards there are. I don't know. I think also there's just been a shift in the collecting space too, right? I think people are just spending way too much on the top end guys, honestly. Which is like, hey, I get some of it, but at the same time, you know, you're not leaving much room for them to actually improve. Kyle Connor on the Dazzlers, Nick Foligno for Chicago, and Sam Reinhart for the Panthers. So I think it's probably like a little bit on the overprinting side. Stankoven for the Hurricanes. Lev Shinov, Young Gun for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Austin Matthews for the Leafs. So I think it's a little bit on the overprinting, a little bit on the just change in hobby kind of viewpoint. Saros on the blue, Marchessault, 2 Predators there, and a Canuck. Boy, teams that are doing well. Predators and Canucks, am I right? So, let's leave up the Levchinov here. But yeah. Yeah, and like, I don't know, it's one of those like, I should check the back, because I know some people have had issues on the back, but it's one of those, you need to make the products, like, I get why they want to make the product accessible. By the way, Sam Rinzel on the canvas, it's got the usual canvas tear in the top, or peel there. I'll try and not make it worse. But Rinzel on the Young Gun canvas, we'll put them there. Cam Lund for the Sharks. So, it's, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see them kind of rein it in a little bit, because you want it to be accessible, but also you still need a little bit of value there, you know? Barzell. You know, speaking of numbered Young Guns, I was about to say, Ryan Suzuki for the Hurricanes at 250 on the Deluxe. Unfortunately for him, he got a really bad eye injury in AHL. A little bit of a soft corner there and there, but hey, 250, we'll take that. We'll take a numbered Young Guns. Yeah, the numbering's a big issue with not numbering, just the overall print run, and like finding that balance between, you know, printing enough that you can get it easily in the hands of people, but not printing too much that it's overprinted is definitely tough. Gensel and Draisaitl for the Oilers. But I also think like they could probably shrink this set down a little bit. Dvorsky on the Encore, Dalstal, and Ozzy Weisblatt. That was actually a really good Young Gun box overall. Yeah, okay. The pop count on Bedard PSA 10s is crazy. And think about the quality of Bedard Young Guns. Because, like, that set was, generally speaking, rough. In terms of quality. Like, to get a 10, I would say it was a lot tougher than what it should have been. I mean, yeah, but it's also, it's a double-edged sword too, where if you're printing more, you're more likely to have issues, you know? Because when you're trying to print as much product, like all the sets and stuff like that, it's go, 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 go. Like the printers, the cutters, everything's working 24/7. So I wish that they like it's why I wish that they kind of like would cut down a couple sets a year type of thing. Because there's a lot of products that come out, right? I think we've seen a little bit of fatigue, even in other sports too, right? But the one nice thing is that hockey cards are still relatively affordable compared to other sports right now. So, yeah. Like, for example, I think Black Diamond's a perfect product to say, like, you could combine that with SPX, which never really sells super well. And, you know, they work well enough together that you could take, like, the nice cards from it and put it into, you know, the next set. But that's my opinion. I can see people disagreeing with that, and that's fine. Kachuk for the Senators, Norris for the Sabres, McKinnon, for the Avs. But it definitely is hard to keep up with if you're a casual fan. So Connor, another Oliver Moore, second one. Clayton Keller for the Yotes. Get through this stack and then sleeve and top load. Protas on the clear cut. Brant Clark for the Kings, Forsberg for the Predators, and Parekh for the Flames on the Encore, Cup Quest Sparkles of Yossi, and another Compadres for the Oilers. Man, EX is a product, and Ingrained. Those are both products that I have a lot of time for conceptually. But you need to have those products deliver quality and value. I think Ingrained does at least a bit better of a job there. Yossi for the Predators, Callahan for the Bruins, and Stützle for the Senators. But Höglander on the Outburst for the Canucks. Bustle of Werenski and H for the Sabres. But yeah, EX I was very, very excited for. The quality was awful and the value was not good, right? Like the proposition for it, and I kind of can see that, is that like, hey, you're getting 48 cards that are, and to be fair, that's the set that will cost more to produce. It's a set that costs more to produce, and but like the proposition for it being a higher value product is that like, hey, you're getting 2 premium cards, which, yeah, fair, at least 1.5, because I would say the inserts while they were cool, they weren't anything super special. The actual base cards were kind of cool when you got one in good condition. But sorry, I'm going to finish the stack and continue my thoughts. Meyer for the Devils, Aho for the Hurricanes, Mazer for the for the Red Wings. 6, 7, 8, 9. Dazzlers of Makar for the Avs, Dougie for the Devils, Matthews for the Leafs on the portraits. I don't like the portraits this year. Not a fan of them. We got Marchenko, Cam Lund, and the Nuge on the Cup Quest. Barbashev, Demidov, and Levshinov on the checklist. So how we do checklist, Ovechkin for the Capitals, and how we've always done checklists is that if we get 2, both people will get 1 and save the random. If not, it's a random at the end. If we say get one that's numbered 250 and 1 regular, we random off the better one. Loser gets the worst one. So, yeah, very similar run. I found that opening up boxes a lot of this, or like our case at least, is that you normally get the same Young Guns in the next box, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, back to EX. Oh no, I still got some stack left. We'll get to EX after. We'll get to it after. Max Domi for the Leafs to 250 on the Outburst. Blackwood, Jesper Bratt. 4, 5, 6, 7. Dylan Strome, Aiden Hill, and Sam Morton. All right, let's go that. I like to just keep track of numbered cards because, again, it is one of the best ways at telling print runs for a product. Oh yeah, the portraits. Yeah, they kind of look like Netflix serial killer vibes. I can see that. But back to EX. I think, again, proposition-wise, it's like, hey, you're getting 48 decently premium, or well, like even say 36 or 30 premium cards, which, like, yeah, fair. But it's one of those products that, you know, if you cut that print run so that it was, I don't know, an 1/8 of what it is, potentially, even a quarter. If you make it so you got 12 numbered cards per box as opposed to 3, then it's just like, okay, I can see that a little bit more, right? But there's the fact that you got 2 to 3 numbered cards per box and an autograph every second box at that price point is really hard to justify from a collecting standpoint, right? Especially when, you know, it's a small base set too, so if you open up a few boxes, you're gonna have the entire base set. So, I don't know. I felt like it's a set that they just had so much promise and hype. It's just I think, overestimated how much to print by a lot. And unfortunately, just didn't pan out. The damage didn't help either. So it was like just a lot of not great things at once for it. And it sucks, but it is what it is. So I was very excited for that product, like extremely excited, and my reaction opening it up, I think you can go watch the video. Just like that was rough. because I think we had like 1 to 2 cards that are in okay condition, like good pack fresh condition. Everything else was damaged. Ingrained is one of the sets. So Ingrained, I think, is a little bit of a unique case there, where the value for the box, it's a little bit high, but content wise, it's not different than Premier, in my opinion. Like, it's not far off of what Premier is, and the cost of making that product, I think, is more than Premier. So that's just one that the secondary market doesn't like, I would say. Marchessault for Nashville, Line A for the Habs, and Wyatt Johnson for the Stars, because there are some really, really unique cards. People just like to stick to their main sets, and it's a lot of fatigue, I would say. Kadri, Parker Ford for the Jets, Kempe for the Kings on the Cup Quest, Samuel Ersson for the Flyers, Cup Quest of Kreider for the Rangers. Fowler for the Blues. That's an interesting choice. I guess Kreider being, you know what? Kreider being the Cup Quest for the Rangers makes a lot of sense given how their year's going. But yeah, Peace Valley, it's been a thing in hockey cards for a while that I'm sure it's changed a little bit over the years, but the niche sets tend to always be a lot less valuable. Jake Sanderson for the Senators, Ian Moore for the Ducks, Robert Thomas for the Blues. And it's like, again, that's why, your core sets have kind of gone up a little bit. Oh, that's a McDavid short print for the Oilers. McDavid short print base card for the Oilers. The SSP base variation. I wish they had it on the front, but yeah, we'll take that. We will take that. Ian Moore, we'll sleeve them up. Yeah, it's back to like even the Panini days when Panini and Upper Deck were competing. You had a lot of the like older collectors just didn't want to touch Panini because they didn't like the new cards, essentially. Bertuzzi for Chicago, Marchenko for the Blue Jackets, and they're afraid about stuff being overprinted, which I kind of get a little bit there. Quinn Hughes for the Canucks, Stuart Skinner, and Victor Ostman for the Kraken. Yeah. But yeah, and over the years it's just kind of evolved into where we're at now. Ostman is not the goalie that I like from the Kraken, but yeah, hey, base cards with value are always nice to get. So, all right, I'm gonna shrink the insert sack down here just a little bit. That way I can kind of keep things more manageable. There we go. But yeah. Oh, we got the other half here. Oops. Hopefully everyone's doing well, though. And if you got any other questions, let me know. I do wish we had multiple manufacturers at the same time, because we'd probably have the same amount of products. It's just, then you have, for example, when it was Panini and Upper Deck, you still had Upper Deck's flagship, and Panini didn't really have a flagship product. But you got a bunch of at least unique looking sets, and people would kind of gravitate to whatever ones looked the nicest. For the most part, there was still a huge preference for Upper Deck over Panini by collectors, so the secondary market reflected that. But Panini did bring a lot of, I'd say, innovation. Spurgeon for the Wild on the Outburst. Eichel Stone, Adam Fox, Vegas Rangers. So Troy Terry for the Ducks. Lindgren, Ethan Frank on the Young Guns. Blackwood on the tracking systems. Dylan Cousins for the Senators. His head looks like really crooked. Pedersen for the Canucks. Yeah, Select was one that I really liked early on with Panini. Brat for the Devils. And we have the Ethan Frank here. And also an Elias Pedersen Youngins behind it. Select was one I liked. Dominion. 2010-11 Panini Dominion, I think, is the hallmark of what a high-end product should actually be. I think it was a really, really good entry point there. National Treasures obviously was back then before it was super expensive was really cool. Matthews for the Leafs. I like Titanium too. Titanium brought us the game, or brought back at least the number to jersey number rookie cards. Encore of Nyes, Encore of Kempe, and Markstrom on the tracking systems. And Caulfield canvas, Gabe Perreault for the Rangers. Yeah, and again, what happened during those years is that kind of Upper Deck did, they actually they shrunk ice into SPX. But artifacts, man, artifacts and ice, all they just need to go back to what they were in 2019-20. Bedard, you know, get rid of the parallels. Just focus on quality. You know, make the boxes unique and fun and cool. Because that's the thing too, is that like the opening experience I think has been, and granted it's probably a little bit different for me. Like I'm gonna have a bit of a different take on this compared to the average person because of the volume of product that I get to open up. But like it's definitely changed a lot. So yeah, it'd be nice to see the, you know, even Stature. I think Stature last year was a really good example of what I want to see them do more of. Where it's just like, okay, we need to take a year off of the set. So just do it every second year, every third year. Like bring in new sets every once in a while. Rotate them. Keep things fresh. You still have your staples. So still do your Series 1, Series 2. Extended, I have a larger conversation for just because I feel like you could do so much more with that product. But like your SP Authentic and your Cup. Make those like your 3 staple sets each year. Probably keep Premier in there. Probably Ultimate just because of the shields. And then, I don't know, like Platinum and OPG. Like keep those sets in MVP. Because you need a kid-friendly set. Oh, I love Ice. Ice was one of the first product that I ever actually did a master case for. Like personal. And just because I love the chase of the out of 99 Ice Premiers, that's a product that they need to revert back to what it was. Because it's just not the same product anymore. Celebrini and Toffoli. Tage for the Sabres, Larkin for the Red Wings. You know, go back to that mid-end product. Like, again, 2019-20 Ice was the best. I think the best example of, like, a mid-end product. Merzlikins, Leonard for the Capitals. You like Synergy? I mean, again, Synergy's got... There are some things about Synergy that I like. Again, the unique-looking base cards are cool. Like, the actual base cards of Synergy are cool. However... you know, it's the rest of the product's not my favorite. Panarin for the Rangers. Black and white canvas of Olen Zellweger for the Ducks. Letang and Luke Evangelista. So Nick Suzuki for the Habs on the Outburst base. Got Bouchard Sizzle Reel, Kyle Connor for the Jets. Zaka, Mo Sider, and Matthew Wood. I think Synergy is done now, yeah. Synergy and EX. Yeah, Synergy and EX could combine. I mean, Synergy, EX, SPX, and Black Diamond. I think you could combine all 4 of those products and like take the best out of all of them. Nice Matthew Wood there, by the way. You could take all of those products, combine them, and have like take the best out of each one and have just an absolutely sick product. Laugh for the Rangers, Parker Ford. In my opinion, you know, you take the Black Diamonds, like the diamonds from Black Diamonds, the team logo jumbos from that. Yeah, the update autos were definitely a problem this year. Cider for the Red Wings. And then again, like if you don't have, so for example, Synergy is another one where like I really like the base cards, but if you maybe it's something that you put the base cards in extended, you do stuff like that, you know. Cascadia, people like the puzzle aspect of it. I think having a puzzle patch set is actually like good. Maybe you put it in OPG, but like puzzle cards are fun to complete. That's what the appeal is there essentially. Like when you complete it all together, it kind of looks cool. Ekholm for the Oilers, Sam Rinzel, and McDavid on the composition for the Oilers. Goal oriented red, Reinhardt, number 2, 199. Kadri, Connor Bedard. So, Caulfield for the Habs, Jared McCann, and Carson Dorwart. So, Ben, essentially in Black Diamond, which we'll be opening up a box of in a couple boxes here. There is team logo jumbo patches, which there's normally 6 of per player, and you can complete a puzzle with them. Like for example, you'll spell like the team logo. You'll get the team logo and the name and stuff. But they're not everyone's cup of tea. Like again, would I personally collect them? No, but I know people that like them, so it's like okay. That's fine. People are allowed to like that. I like Rinzel. I think Rinzel's decent. So I just need to grab some more top loaders. Depends on the checklist. It's normally top rookies in that year. And then some like legends or all-stars. So it just kind of, it depends is probably the best answer. Ryan Leonard on the Dazzlers. That's a nice Dazzlers. We'll put that in that pile. Kyle Connor and Brady Tkachuk. Jake Ottinger. Jakob Gaucher. Marco Rossi on the compositions. William Nylander. And then Panarin on the goal-oriented Speckles, and Matthew Nyes. There we go. Irons, we're just doing the 2 breaks today, so no personals today, unfortunately. Maybe we might get some up Friday, maybe. And then price-wise, I actually don't know off the top of my head. All right. Next box here. We have... Yeah, we got a nice celebration variant. They're tough to get, eh? And I mean, hey, it helps that it's McDavid. Yeah. To be fair, this is... wild saying this, but only the second case I've opened since it came out. The first case we had was rough. I'm guessing what they're one in. I forget how many packs now that I think about it. They're probably like one in what 5,000 packs or something like that. Or are they even listed? All right, so we got this box, the next box, and the box of Black Diamond left, and then we'll run it back. There have been no Demidovs yet. So if there's no Demidovs in this half, that means there theoretically should be one in the next half. All right. Here we go. Werenski, Kevin Hayes for the Penguins, and Patrick Laine for the Habs. Perfetti. Well, speak of the Demidov for the Habs. Demidov, Young Guns. Let's get that into the sleeve. There we go. There we go. You just gotta reverse jinx it, man. That's all you gotta do. It's not, I would say it's probably not perfect, but Yeah, like the top left corner is a little soft. Like it's not. I don't think it's a 10, but I don't know, man. You never know with PSA nowadays. We'll put him to the side there. McCarr for the Avs. We still don't have a clear cut or an outburst Younga. Okay, I just got to stop talking. Quinn Hudson for the Oilers. Man, Oilers having yourself a little bit of a break here. Clear cut Young Guns. Oh, we still don't have an outburst Young Guns. We don't have an outburst gold Young Gun. 1 in 2,000 packs? Okay. Aho for the Hurricanes. Mason McTavish for the Ducks. Carson Dorwart on the outburst Young Guns. All right, well. We didn't have an outburst Young Gun. We didn't have a clear-cut Young Gun. And we didn't have a Demidov. And, hey. Let's just get all 3 in 3 straight packs. Tippett, Gensel. Yeah, I actually kind of felt like that the Demidov boxes were a little bit loaded. Bratt, Talbot, and Skarek. Yep, all in the same box. Now all we need is a good Young Gun canvas. Hey, we could get a Young Gun canvas black and white, technically, I think. Or no, probably not. The clear cut takes that. Letang and Mark Gatcomb and Steven Stamkos. Bootleg time. Man, I don't like the bootleg cards. I don't know why. I just don't like them. For like an SSP insert, they're just not my thing. I don't know. Actually, I don't like the Fanimations this year. The Fanimations are like identical to the portraits to me. They're way too similar. I wish there was a little bit more of a separation between the two of them. Nichushkin, Kimmel, and Eklund on the portraits. Pop count 100 of Vasilevsky. What a box for the Bolts. Makar and Connor Bedard. Pretty insane. Sorokin, McDavid, and Quillen for the Leafs. And Dazzlers of Lane Hudson. So, too bad it wasn't last year, but yeah, good little box here. I mean, okay, we hit Demidov. It's a good box. It's not a little box. It's just a good box. Vasilevsky is technically a numbered card. Again, we have this exact break running right after this. Joaquin Kimmel is a guy that I quite like as well. I don't know what his like top end is, but I think he's got top 6 talent. Jared McCann, Tyler Toffoli. It was just those two, right? Yeah, because we ran into the Young Gun there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Compadres of Panarin and Laugh. Abels. What a journey he had. Kadri for the Flames. Yeah, we had that. Eklund, I think, was the last card before that. Snuggerud, Rossi, and Darcy Kemper. And, like, high numbered pop count. I've seen, like, off eBay sales around 250 on eBay, like, probably in this a little bit higher, but I haven't checked in the past, like, few days. It's just whatever's kind of popped up on my feed. Still no Snuggie. Still no Snuggie. Matt, who'd you have? To be fair, most of you bought in the break for like $20, which is about half of what the spot should be going for. So, I mean, like a pack's what? A pack's almost that. Have though. I don't know why I can't. Oh, Columbus. Yeah, Columbus isn't the best team in this, unfortunately. But hey, you never know. Maybe in Black Diamond they'll show up. All right. Marchenko for the Blue Jackets, Lowry, and Quinn Hughes for the Canucks. That's like one of the few Quinn Hughes might actually be smiling pictures you'll ever see. Leafs compadres. Here's Jimmy. Here's Snuggie. Is there a Columbus? Oh, Sillinger. Yeah, Sillinger. Right. Of the older variety. Nice Snuggie. Oh man, Snuggie Snacks is one of our like old guys on the when we were on Twitch. Tage for the Sabres. McAvoy for the Bruins on the black and white. Hedman for the Lightning and Sorokin for the Islanders. Kaprizov, Ovechkin, Wild. And Ripping Friends, Capitals, Bodog on the canvas. Randoms. We have 2 randoms to do right now. Oh, Matt, you spoke it into existence, man. All right, can someone please speak like a shield into existence today or something crazy? I think you can get shields in Black Diamond, right? There's the exquisite stuff. I mean, I'll take an Outburst Red, a High Gloss Young Guns, Compositions of Pasta. There's a lot of things that I'll take. Kadri on the Outburst for the Flams, Kachuk and Kaprizov. Olmark for the Senators, Lehkonen for the Avs, and Koivunen for the Penguins. A 1/1 Michkov was ripped. Nice. Yeah, Koivunen's got some upside, so. Anytime a player has like some upside at this point, it's like, that would be like a $2, $3 young gun, but I don't know, hold on to a couple just in case. Nice, yeah. I mean, hey, hopefully we can get something like that. All right, here we go. Logan Cooley, he had 4 goals. Michael Callahan, Kucherov. Holotypes of Mista Svechnikov for the Carolina Hurricanes. Beal. Well, you may have not got the Habs, but you got 2 super short print inserts. And try and be very careful with these because they like to be a little bit rough, but there we go. Svechnikov holotypes, that's recap worthy. That's recap worthy. Ovechkin Wilson and Nick Suzuki. Logan Cooley, Shesterkin, and Luke Cagnoni. And Draisaitl on the Dazzlers. We'll get to the two young guns. Holotypes are like, I think, rarer than case hits. They're probably not super expensive. They were like, I don't know. I felt like they could have been something big, but I don't think they got marketed super well. In the first year, I think they kind of came out pretty like roughed up, but it's a living set, so you'll never get the same player again. But they're at least, yeah. Yeah, it's weird that flagships from this aren't, or short prints aren't worth anything. Ottinger and Ovechkin, like Fanimations used to be, but like even now they're not. I don't know, the market just changed so much on this. Marchessault, Dylan Duke. Yeah. Bootleg's gonna tank in value. Bootlegs are gonna get bootlegged. Kaprizov for the Wild. Konechny, Bedard on the Speckle Portraits, and Hellebuck for the Jets. All right, Black Diamond time. I mean, look, that's a pretty good little appetizer. Here we go. Good luck. So we have 2 randoms to do. Good luck, folks. Black Diamond's been, I think, nice to us. Pack feels thin. Which generally means no diamond. 657 on the box number in case we need it. Yeah, it's thin. It is thin. All right, let's go off the back. Lev Shivnov, red rookie. To what, 199? 197 of 100 for Chicago. Werenski for the Blue Jackets, 249. And the usual Black Diamond has some soft corner warnings. Numbered 1 of 399. Oliver Moore, soft corner on that guy. For Chicago. Chicago cleaning up here. Brady Tkachuk to 399 for the 349, sorry, for the Senators on the base cards. Connor Garland on the sparkling scripts for the Canucks. Maybe his Garland will be adorning a different team's Christmas tree this year. And Zane Parekh on the Diamond debut relics for the Flames. That was a box of Black Diamond. So, I think they only trade him if he, if they get something back, but something decent back. But yeah, not the strongest box there. We'll do the randoms, and then I'm just gonna sleeve and topple this stuff right now so I don't forget it. 1, 2, 3 of these guys. Sorry, I need 4 of these guys. Yeah, I think though, given where the team's at, like, if you can get something for them that's worthwhile and younger, it's probably worth moving on. I honestly think there isn't really a player on the team that shouldn't be available. Ripping Friends, I will. I'm just going to do the randoms first, and then we'll do the recap after. I'm just going to sleeve and topple this. Even Finn, yeah. Hey, I used to go to school with Finn's kids. That sounds weird to say, but... Come on, Levy, let's go. Man, Lev Shrinov's one of those players that, like, I don't know how he's going to do. That was a really bad box of Black Diamond. Baby Orcas, yeah. All right, let me get random.org set up here, because for whatever reason, I don't have access to the wheel on here. I don't get it. But maybe it's just you have to be on mobile. We have 2 min / wash and MTL Chicago. All right. So this is for the Young Gun checklist. Once, twice, third time. Montreal. I can't spell. I can't write an L if my life depends on it. And the canvas once, twice, third time, Minnesota. It really likes the M's apparently. All right. Back to here we go. All right, recap time. So again, just those for the randoms. The top Young Guns, kind of kept them separate. Snuggerud, Kemmel, Rinzel, Wood, Leonard, Perot, Moore, Weisblatt, Levshunov, and a second Moore. We only hit one Young Gun canvas, didn't we, in Rinzel? Black Diamond, Levshunov, Wierenski. Like, honestly, Flames, you got the Perec. That was the best part about that. Some other cool numbered stuff. Goal-oriented of Reinhardt 2/199. Don't ask what my pinky's doing there. It's just trying to get out of the way. Vasilevsky on the pop count 100. Dominey 250 for the Leafs. We have an outburst in Dorwart and a clear cut in Quinn Hudson. Holotypes of Svechnikov, Suzuki Young Gun Deluxe to 250 for the Hurricanes. Demi, obviously probably the most expensive hit of the break, but coolest hit of the break. 1 in 2,000 packs. McDavid Celebrations. Yeah, that is Group Break 604. All right.